Okay, that's so. Setting చేస్తున్నారు the CII Check, I'm here.
So Krishna will start the proceedings. I think Rana just came in and probably he was doing a check. I understand he'll join in a couple of minutes. So let's begin with the proceedings. Is that okay, Krishna? We'll start the proceedings. You need to unmute. Yeah.
Yes, let's start, Subhajit. We're already a few minutes late, so I think it'd be good to start. But good morning, everyone, and welcome to the virtual conference on transforming lives in health beyond COVID as a part of the CII lifestyle and wellness initiatives. It is my pleasure to welcome everybody to this virtual conference. I quickly want to first take the opportunity to welcome Mr. Rana Daggubati, who will be joining us in a few minutes and will do the keynote later in the session. I also want to welcome Ms. Peyush Bhatia, who will also address this session in a few minutes. Also from the CII Leadership Council, I'd like to welcome Dr. Jalachara Yella, who is the chairperson of the Lifestyle and Wellness Summit, and also Mrs. Shobha Dikshit, both of whom will also speak later in this session. Also welcome to Subhajit Saha, who is the Director of Head of CII Telangana. And I'll also take a moment to welcome Mr. Varaprasad Reddy, who's also on the call and will lead a session later in this afternoon in a conversation with Daaji. Obviously, it's a very interesting time that we live in, and the concept of wellness, fitness, health, lifestyle, etc., become very different and very unique in a session in a situation like this, where many of the things that we're used to and many of the opportunities for say exercise or fitness, etc., have really been taken away or have changed quite a bit. But obviously, every challenge also is an opportunity, which gives us some unique ways in which we can redefine lifestyle. We can help, or we can put a lot more focus, given the availability of time, etc., on health and wellness, where the lack of time typically is an excuse that many of us use for not really putting enough focus or enough effort on obviously what is a very important topic. Therefore, while there are opportunities, and today's the intent of today is really not to dwell too much on the challenges, we really need to look at the opportunities of what does this new reality, what does this new changed world give us in terms of making sure that we also focus on health, wellness, and living overall a better lifestyle. As an example, some of our employees were telling me the other day that while working from home has been a fairly significant challenge, and it comes with its own issues, it has also allowed people an extra 2.5 hours in most large cities in India. And I was talking to people from Delhi, Pune, Hyderabad, and Bangalore. And the consensus, I would say the average saving because of work from home is really 2.5 hours per any average employee. So that really gives us an opportunity, given that it frees up that amount of time for us to really focus on other things. Now, granted, I'm sure a lot of the younger folks will use that time to watch Netflix, but it is also really an opportunity for a lot of us to put
breaths. Relax your body. Just relax your body. Relax your body from the top of your head to your sweet little toe. Just relax. Relax your head, your forehead, everything. Just relax your body. Now relax your mind. Where is the fear and anxiety in your body right now? Just check. Just check your body. Scan your body. Where is the fear and anxiety? Scan your body. Where is the fear and anxiety in your body right now? I want you to put your hands on your heart. Put both your hands on your heart. Put both your hands on your heart. Now think about something that you're grateful for in your life. Think about one thing that you're grateful for in your life. Think about 2 more things that you're grateful for in your life. Guys, you've come to this workshop, I would say, take away something. Have these experiences. My words will not resonate with you. You might or might not remember, but you will always remember the experience. Now, I want you to think about 2 people you love the most. Feel these people in front of you. Feel the love for them. Feel the love for these 2 people. Feel the love from your heart. Think about the happiest moment of your life. Think about the happiest moment of your life. The happiest moment of your life. And how you felt. Think about all the times you have felt proud of yourself. The moments when you felt proud of yourself. You felt proud of yourself. Take a deep breath. Check where is the fear and anxiety. Open your eyes. Fear and positive emotion cannot stay together. Cannot stay together. Be like a warrior who's ready to face any uncertainty. See the situation as it is, not worse than it is. We people tend to see situation worse than what they are. This is a magical time, my friends. This is a magical time for creation, to sow the seeds. We all know time to sow seeds and time to harvest are different. This is the time to sow the seeds. The India, our country, is opening up to so many opportunities. 2021 is our year. Believe me, 2021 is our year. Energies are changing. The masculine energies, masculine aggressive energies are being balanced by the compassionate feminine energies. The earth is shifting from the 3D to the 5th dimension. Move out of your mind matrix. What we fear has power over us. Step into the infinite space of your heart and soul. Everything you want is already there in this field of pure potentiality. Okay, tell me one thing. When you were in school and the teacher gave you the question paper, where were the answers? The answer sheet was in the teacher's drawer. So there are no question papers without the answers already being there. The questions, the problems that you're dealing with already have those answers. The answers that you're looking for, they are here. Just tune in, just be guided. You are always guided. Just keep your antennas open. What if things that we think are happening to us were actually happening for us? All you need to do is to be open. Change your state of being, your thoughts and beliefs. Change your story. Story that you're telling yourself. Story of a victim. Change your story, change your mindset, and it will change your life story. Prepare yourself to win. Take your life, family, people, business, and nation to new heights. Create your comeback story, my dear friends. Create your comeback story. Thank you, everyone, for listening to me. You have been a wonderful audience. Hope you all got value today. Share in the chat box if you did. Thank you, CII, for this wonderful opportunities. Thank you, Dr. Jalachari. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ms. Piyush Bhatia, for that wonderful, enlightening session. I'm sure that it's really positive vibes which you have actually communicated to all the participants. And I think now it's the big time. I would, it's a privilege to introduce. I think he needs no introduction, but I would leave it to Dr. Jala to take it over and then probably have a chat with the famous celebrity Rana sir. Good to see you, sir. Good morning. I'm Subhajit from CII. You've been
Hello,
in our
sir.
session in the past. Yeah. So Jala, if you could introduce sir and then probably have a chat for the benefit of all the audience, it will be great. Thank you, Dr. Jala. And welcome, Rana sir, once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hello. Good morning. Hi, Jala.
Hi, good morning, Rana.
Morning.
So, like Subhajit just said, I think the next speaker's name is one that resonates very well with our generation of film goers, Rana Daggubati. Although he may not need much of an introduction, Rana is an actor, producer, entrepreneur, and sports enthusiast. Ahead of his time and only 20 years old when he launched Spirit Media, a visual effects company that specialized in animation and VFX. He produced special effects for over 70 films when VFX was not known to many in India. He is actively involved in managing Ramanaidu Studios, one of India's largest integrated production firms, and Suresh Productions, alongside his father, Daggubati Suresh Babu. He is also a successful serial entrepreneur and an investor. Rana's other business involvements include Quan Entertainment and Marketing Solutions, a successful talent management company. He's involved with Ant Hill Ventures, an investment and scaling platform for early growth stage startups. He's also a part of a path-breaking venture called ACK Alive from leading comic book company Amar Chitrakatha, one that we all loved as children. He's also involved in sporting ventures and is the co-owner of the Hyderabad FC football club and a brand ambassador for the Pro Kabaddi. Rana, a globally known Indian actor, was introduced as an actor in the film Leader, a political thriller, and from there on, there was no looking back for this multifaceted person. He became a universal phenomenon after his spectacular role as Valhalla Deva in the iconic blockbuster movie Baahubali. Apart from several film industry awards, he is the recipient of a prestigious national award for co-producing a film called A Belly Full of Dreams. His next movie, Hathi Meri Sati, is ready for release soon. Rana, I welcome you to please literally come take charge of the screen and
Wow.
take the floor,
Thank
please.
you, Thank you, Jala. Thank you very much. That was, I think that's the kindest you've ever spoken about me. So it's very nice.
No, not.
Well, hello guys. How are you? One is I have to thank Piyush. I was part of a little bit of what she's spoken. And like Jella introduced me, now most of those businesses that I do, whether it's film that releases in theaters, whether it's sports that's played in stadiums, all of that is shut. And I think I'll just continue with the last session about reinventing. The first week or 10 days of the lockdown, the first thing that we did was it was completely uncertain. We were definite about that one thing. We were definite that things were uncertain and will be uncertain for a very long time. So like a simple South Indian, we started putting numbers together and said, how many days to zero for all these divisions, all these companies? Now we run an establishment that has about over 600 employees at full time, has more than 5,000 people in terms of support. So it was a big blow in terms of just economic structure for not talking about health and other things, but just economic value of the entertainment business itself. Now, once we did all of that, understood how we have to take care of staff, how we have to take care of employees, used all the best methods that we don't let go of anybody who's been there for 50 years in building this company. And once this exercise was done, it was done with accountants, CAs, my father, a lot of other people. And once the exercise got over, the first thing I got to myself is, okay, now I can't act in movies now. There's nobody shooting anything for me. I went back to what I know apart from acting. I said, I know how to talk and I know animation. And that was the first thing that I did. That was actually my first job when I was from about 17 to about 22, 23 years old. I ran an animation studio. And that was it. So I started doing an animation chat show. From there, we started doing an animated feature. And then we continued and built an entire production line of animation that we didn't have in the company for the last 15 years. So I think that's the first positive that we did this lockdown in terms of company structuring. And in terms of inspiring the people around you, we realize people become extremely important. The relationships you have with the people you work with, the people who are friends and social become extremely important. And I think as heads of companies and heads of organizations, it's our job to inspire everybody around. And everybody who's there has another skill, has a skill to reinvent, has the skill to do the same job differently. Like spoken earlier, this has opened a world of completely different opportunity. And it's not times where things will come to you anymore. It's for the forerunners to kind of see where the future is headed. And I think that's where all of us, I mean, I'm just speaking from the entertainment business, But I think for everybody, that becomes the nomenclature. So I can just start detail. So Jala, you tell me, I can start detailing around how the entertainment business is trying to reinvent itself. I'd be happiest if people want to barge in, ask me questions. I'd love things that are interactive.
No,
Uh,
it's great
yeah.
for you to stopped off, Rana. I mean, talking about, you know, the pause in the film industry, and I think the pause in filming in general, and also that the fact that audiences may not be able to go back to theaters and visit
Right.
theaters. So where do you see the future of the film industry, or the immediate future, going?
See, one is we're definitely in an unprecedented time. We don't even know what this virus really is. We don't know how it gets here. We don't know when it leaves, and we don't know when there's a cure. But one thing for definite, as a human race, we know that there will be a cure at some point. Whether it's 2 months, 5 months, 10 months, that's for anyone to say. But I think once all of that is done, there is a big positive to see from all of this, is because people have shifted into a large work from home type of situation where if they don't have offices, if they're not going to offices and other things, there will be a lot of time for entertainment and outdoor activities. And I think the consumer might change in this 1.5 year. What has blown up the other side is the OTT, where you get to see high quality, great content, great drama on your iPhone, cell phone, or your television screen at home. So I think users will start using a lot more of that, and theater is going to be an experience. You will start seeing more and more spectacle cinema being made. You will see the phenomenon that hit America maybe 5 or 6 years ago, where you see more spectacle cinema than drama in theaters. I think that's where cinema will lie eventually in the years to come. The theatrical big cinema will only be spectacle driven or will be big star driven. And I think all of the others will drive towards the OTT. But what this really gives rise to is a rise of an entire nation of democratic filmmakers that will have no threads, that will have no bars, will be looking at India as one. We're not divided by language anymore. We're not divided by region anymore. In fact, we're not even divided by country anymore with the way global OTT content operates. So I think as much as there is a hit that you have to take now, there is a big future that one can look forward to.
I think you're extremely right in saying that, you know, the talented, India is so talented. We have so much talented, but many of it is quite hidden. And it goes quite obscure. And it's very nice to hear that maybe, you know, talent like that will have this opportunity to actually come forward and, you know, showcase their talent, like on OTT platforms that you just mentioned, like Netflix or Hotstar. I think it'll be much easier for that's really
For
great.
sure. See, I'm saying for a democratic filmmaker, he doesn't have to go through the drill of finding a theater, publicizing a film. See, and P&A costs today in India become extremely huge, especially in languages like Hindi and others. So I think OTT will be that voice of independent India's filmmakers. So I think you get to see something which is a lot more fun now.
Despite being I mean, and I mentioned in your introduction, you've donned many hats. You've done VFX, cinematography, direction, production, and obviously acting. What advice would you have to give aspiring talent? And, you know, how would they need to pivot during these times to make their goals come true?
See, one is I mean, this is something that my grandfather taught me, whether it's on any time. I think the ethic to your job becomes the most important thing. If you're an actor, if you're an artist, if you're a creator of any form, you could be a writer, musician, whatever it is. Today, if you have the power to create, there is an economy out there that is still running that will get you paid and help you survive very, very successfully. So I think it's actually as an artist, I think there is no better time than this. There is a time where the world is at its lowest in terms of morale, economy, and all of it. And I think it's a time for an artist to shine and tell those stories. So I think for an artist, just the ethic to the job doesn't matter whether you're doing a feature film, you're doing something in OTT, you're doing animation, if you're just doing podcasts. I think it doesn't matter where you are, what you do. You just have an opportunity to do everything, and I think the ones who take it will be the ones who win.
I think you're very right. I think history has shown us that it's been in our darkest times in history, wherein the human race has actually dug down deep. and pulled out from within ourselves, whether it's creative or, like you said, ethics, having that ethic in wanting to prove oneself and push oneself out there and to do things that you may not be so comfortable with. I think coming out of one shell, I think there's no time than now. Like Piyush Bhatia said, this is the time for change. This is the time we need to change ourselves. And it's the best time we can actually come forward. Yeah. How has your lifestyle changed?
See, one is there was two things, right? Either you react at lightning speed, or you just sit back and wait for the world to settle, right? These are the two states, and I think as an entrepreneur, I've taken the route of reacting at lightning speed in terms of reinventing what could be reinvented, whether it's everything that's on the internet that is surviving and big in entertainment, we continue to do. And once the world opens back into others, I think there's been an extreme discipline in terms of how prep and things are being organized in terms of production. So I think we'll just be able to hit much more grand scales and efficiencies once things are back. So and then now you have a lot of time to introspect, see things, understand your weak links that the company has got. And I think that's I think it's a great time if you take it correctly and use it to fix all the problems that there were, to face a beautiful and a solid tomorrow.
On how has your lifestyle changed? Be it travel, filming, wellness.
Mine, nothing. Yeah, I decided to get married.
Yeah, we know. We all know.
So that's changed. So there you go. So in personal
Has
life,
it changed wedding plans? I mean, normally we have big fat Indian weddings. Has it changed Indian
plans? There's very little small home weddings. So that's where it's gone to. So I'm pretty happy like that. So it's chill, it's easy. And I think at life at a personal level, I think once you start slowing down, you start doing things that are extremely right for you. I started disciplining myself extremely this time. I think started training very consistently because I usually do it when I have a film that I shoot for. Otherwise, I just become very lazy. So I think unless I built a routine for myself in terms of fitness, in terms of food, in terms of just living clean and living right, because now you're at home and I live with my parents, so you can't really party or do things crazy. So I think it's a good time for all of us.
No, I think, I mean, you're right in saying that. I mean, your guest list may have come down, but your wallet will feel lighter, much, lesser expenditure, but that's also good in a way. But I think also it's a good time to reflect what we really need to be doing out there, whether it's for someone else or for ourselves. So I think we need to start looking within ourselves and understanding what's important for us, focusing on ourselves, prioritizing what we want for ourselves and what we want to achieve. And I think you said it right. Thank you, Rana.
I mean, answering the question of why you are is pretty much what one does. And just plugging it in, my show is called Why Are You?
Sure, we'll definitely look it up. We'll definitely look it up to put in some content. Does anybody have any questions for Rana? I mean, I think he'd be pleased to answer.
We should. I'm happiest to take questions.
Yeah.
Sir, I think Subhajit here, come what may, whatever OTT or new tech or a VR or an AR, but we can't see a Baahubali in a small TV. I think even if the world's finest technology comes, we need a big screen and an actor lifelike actors like you. So I'm sure that I don't know how do we come to that normalcy again, but movies like this will never ever fit into OTT or any kind of smallest devices, whatever technology, but yeah, it can give you the look and feel, but not the entire ambience.
100%.
Which
100%. So I think that's where we think the theaters will go in future. See, it took us about 6.5 years to make 2 Baahubalis, the 2 films. But today, if we start making it, we can do it extremely faster. We can do it on half the speed, if not much lesser than that. And I think this time has created an efficiency in film productions where we understand the workflow much better. We have a much better visual effects pipeline. And most of those those films can be shot in studios now today. And I think once the theaters are back and up, you'll see a lot more of that cinema in theaters, and and the theater will be for spectacles.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Rana, for anybody who's working from home, that are maybe kind of creatively inclined towards the film industry or just
Right.
any type of creative form, what
Right.
do you think they could start doing from home directly if it's going to contribute towards films?
Well, actually, a large part of the film industry has been working because all of the pre-production happens online. You don't need anybody really to meet in offices. All of the writing, all of the creative writing happens at home. And I think that has been extremely efficient. It has been much more efficient than what we do at a normal time because everyone has that time, everyone has that space, they're away from all the noise. And that, I think, just creatively just sitting one place and being able to operate, right? And you look for this every day of your regular day. And I think now is the time you found it. I think you got to use it the best, whether you're a writer, musician, or artist in any form. I think just sitting and creating everything that you can, I think this is the best time.
We've actually got a couple of questions from the viewers. I'll just read
Please.
out a couple.
Yeah.
It says, sir, the future looks bright, and as you rightly said, the uncertainty of when question is what is draining us. How do you keep yourself going?
See, I just decided that it's definitely uncertain for a very long time, right? And that I just feel like I'm a guy who can that's easier for me to take a decision. So I just made long-term things. I said, here you go for 12 or 15 months. We may not have a film project on floor. Let's plan backwards. And we were able to create a pipeline of animation for the next 2 years. So I think it feels like I found another job very quickly. So I think just finding things that excite you, you're able to create some value of, doesn't have to be as big as your main business, doesn't have to be half of your main business. So I think what we do now is probably 10% of what we normally operate at. But I think there's a satisfaction that we're still able to create, and we can create, and that 10% can go up to 50% if we really are able to build it, even while sitting at home. So I think it's just take that fun day where the vaccine drops is bonus, and I think that's it.
We're trying. We're working very hard.
Yeah,
Hopefully
I guess
soon.
that's all. No, I mean, what else? I've been here home for 3 months now, and you're like, okay. So it's best to just say, here you go, for 2 years we're going, and this is what you do now. Find a way to stay, right?
Maybe I think maybe we all needed this time. This kind of a wake up call. Maybe shouldn't call it a wake up call. Unfortunately, it's come in the form of COVID. But I think
Right.
it's good for us to reflect and have this one time where we actually cannot do anything. We're forced to
Right.
actually think and prioritize ourselves and prioritize what we want to do. And I can admit, in the first 15 days or 20 days of the lockdown, I was in a vegetative state. Like I didn't want to do anything. I was thrilled. I kind of
Yeah.
did it as a semi-vacation.
Yeah.
And after that, I was like, no, the emails were piling in, and I was like, no, I have to go back to work.
See, I mean, everything bad comes with something extremely great. It doesn't come with something good, it comes with great stuff, right? And we just have to see how much of the good things that we can look at and focus most of our day, most of our time in terms of just looking at the positive and looking at the opportunity in all of this.
I have one more question for you.
Please.
Oh, no, two more questions. How have you managed to be so grounded in spite of experiencing enormous success?
Well, that's strange, no? Jala, answer that.
No, I think it's a compliment. I think you should answer it. I think it's a big compliment.
Thank you. But see, well, I think the success comes with the fact that we're able to create things, we're able to perform, we're able to do something creative consistently and reinvent ourselves. So I think being famous is actually a job. It's separate from the creative arts that you do. And I think the ethic towards the art always has to be at top in terms of priority. It's great to enjoy fame at times of success and stuff, but I think that won't define what you do. Otherwise, you won't be able to do versatile things. You will always look for something else in terms to satisfy you apart from just your love for the job.
No, I think also the adulation and the adoration you get from fans is quite a humbling moment also quite often.
See, it is. I mean, it becomes so humbling that you know that, listen, this is not what you've done. See, a film is really a creation of many people coming together. It's not one person. See, if you're seeing me in one frame, this is how I normally look. But then when you see me in a feature film, you'll see me in a character, you'll see me in costume, which means that was written by somebody, that was directed by somebody. You hear a musician in the background, you see an art director that did stuff, you see a cinematographer did it. So it's really everybody's effort to create one single frame, which has touched the audience, right? So, and I think we just as actors are lucky because we become the faces of it. But I think that just adds to a responsibility, saying, listen, you want to do better and better things. So more and more different kinds of people like it.
I have one more question from you, actually, from a panelist on our summit today, from Ravi Manta. He has asked if you would mind sharing your nutritional and exercise routine with the viewers. He's caught you there now. You have to be honest.
Yeah. So now I've been pretty much basically just eating clean. Most of my diet usually depends on what film I'm doing. If I have to look big in a certain film, or beefy in a certain film, my diet kind of changes. Now it's just been neutral. It's I just eat about 4 meals a day. I keep it clean. I don't eat carbs usually after 7 o'clock. I'm now at home, so I eat pretty much home food. So it's just basic. I mean, just keeping it clean, not eating too much meat, trying to eat as much as green as possible. Now my family, we're growing a lot of food in the house and in the farm. So that's so it's just eating clean, and training hard. Right now, that's what it's been.
These are all the right answers for a wellness summit.
Yeah,
I think everyone's going to be.
Right now, the thing is so funny for me because I don't know which film I'm shooting for next either.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know how I'm supposed to.
No, I was just pulling it.
I'm growing my hair out, my beard out, and so I have a cap on. It'll blow up if I take it off.
No, I'd really like to thank you, Rana, for joining us today.
Thank you, Jala. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, you were so gracious for accepting our to speak at our summit. And I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago, and you were so open, and you're like, immediately, you just said yes. And I felt that your experience, I know everyone knows you as an actor, but I think I needed to know a little bit more about your experience as an entrepreneur, a business owner, and not just an actor. And I think that was very insightful to hear from you today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, Dr. Jalla, there's one thing, there's a small special gratitude to Rana, sir. I'll just flash it on the screen. Hope he will love it. Yeah, please. This is,
Wow.
Yeah. This is a sketch from one of the fastest sketch artists in India called Harsha, who actually penned down for you. This is a virtual gratitude for you, and we will send it in a frame to your address through Jala.
Thank you, sir.
I hope you liked it. And it says CII at 125 because we are celebrating our 125 years of existence. So we are also reinventing here. And thank you so much, Rana sir, for sharing your experiences in the last 3 months, what has been, and we look forward to have you back in the big screen and have a great career and a great married life ahead. Best wishes from CII, sir. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. Dr. Jalla, this was a surprise. Sorry, I just pulled it once.
No, that's okay. It's a pleasant surprise. It's a lovely drawing. Lovely drawing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rana. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now I would request Ms. Shobha Dikshit, Director of Alpla India Private Limited, and also she's our co-chair of the manufacturing panel of CII, ma'am, and also a former chairperson of Indian Women Network, to kindly deliver her concluding remarks and word of thanks for the session. Shobha, ma'am, over to you, please.
Thank you, Mr. Rana Daggubati, for so graciously being present here today. Mr. Piyush Bhatia, Ms. Piyush Bhatia, Mr. Krishna Bodanapu, Dr. Jala, Subhajit Saha, and friends from the industry and media. A very good morning to all of you. 100 years later, we have another pandemic in front of us, and all of us are confused and insecure. And what better time to have a lifestyle and wellness event? Dr. Jala, this is so well put together, and it's a huge requirement of today's situation that we are going through. While we have the lockdown for an unprecedented time, and we are now in lockdown 2 after unlock 2 after unlock 1, we have to now know how to live in the new normal. The vaccine is very close to us. Yes, I am aware of that. But until then, and even once the vaccine is there, how do you protect yourself and how do you live in a new normal? And this is where, and how do you cope with all that the pandemic has done to your industry, to your life? And that's where the lifestyle and wellness is so important and such a relevant event that we have put together at CII for you. My takeaways have been from Rana that we really need to have a reinvent and positive mindset, and an opportunity for change and reskill needs to be, we really need to adapt and pick it up as soon as we can find the opportunity. And the leadership role is to react with lightning speed. So whether it's in any industry, whether it's in entertainment or whether it's in any business, the situation requires us to all react with lightning speed. I really loved what Piyush Bhatia had to say in terms of mindset, adopt, attitude, positive state of mind, and the experiential change that she brought in us through those 2 minutes of taking us through a visualization of success, of being able to come out of a grid which we were not able to, come out of. I think that was a wonderful experience for me personally. And I'm sure all those who participated wholeheartedly could feel that it was a change that they could see how they can break through in their success that they were not able to achieve in some item. Leaders of the company have to have a win attitude and a shift in the shift from the survival mode to a thrive mode, and that's how the visualization will help you to achieve what you can do. So I really thank you for both and change your story for a change in your life. That was really so relevant. And if you can just change your story, you're going to face a new story in your life and a new change. And that's very important for all of us in today's life. Thank you, Piyush Bhatia. And with that, I would also like to thank all our sponsors. Once more, I would like to thank Dr. Jala for a beautiful event put together, and Subhajit and the Secretariat for so nicely conducting this. And I like to thank all our sponsors. Without this, it would just not be possible to put this together. And our associate sponsors, Science, and corporate contributors, Bharat Biotech, Loris Labs, Natco Pharma, Pragati Resorts. Thank you so much for attending and also for putting this event and being here today. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Shobha ma'am. I think with this, we come to the conclusion of the inaugural session. We'll just have a 2-minute session changeover, and then I think Deepika Chalsani will take over to moderate the this first session, Fitness Beyond Track, Health and Nutrition in the New Normal. So we'll just play a short film on Telangana tourism. So I'm sure that we've not touched physically. So this is like what virtual tour or a detour, which once we open up, we could visit these places, because there are so many beautiful unlocked treasures still to explore. So I would request the audience to kindly stay tuned, go through the video, and then the next set of panelists will be on board in a couple of minutes. Thank you, Dr. Jala. Thank you all the panelists for joining in. Thanks a lot for all the inaugural speakers. And now we will just play the film and resume in a couple of minutes. Thank you.
Subhajit or Pratyusha, if you could take the session forward, please.
Thank you, Dr. Chala. So next session we have on fitness beyond track, and it is moderated by Ms. Deepika Chalsani. Deepika Chalsani is the co-founder of Fit for Life, an integrated nutrition and wellness organization for Indians that provide complete solutions addressing health and wellness challenges of individually developing on their overall well-being. Thank you, Deepika. Deepika, I request you to take it forward, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Pratyusha. I'm now going to introduce our esteemed panelists. The first panelist I'm going to introduce is Ms. Shri Jasti. She's born into an agrarian family of ardent foodies. She has lived her dream of a career nutritionist and a gourmet chef ever since pursuing her master's in nutrition science at the University of Toronto, Canada. When vegan and holistic were not very familiar words to Hyderabad, a food and lifestyle brand, Vibrant Living, has indeed been at the forefront of research of gourmet health foods in India a decade ago. So she is a celebrity nutritionist, chef, and an entrepreneur, and has this brand called Vibrant Living. Welcome, Shri Devi, on board.
Thank you so much. So awesome to be here. Thanks for inviting. Hi, everyone. Hi, Ravi.
Our second panelist is Dr. Vignan, and he is a qualified medical practitioner with a specialization in medicine, sports medicine. He is one of the most accomplished triathletes in India. He has most number of triathlon podium finishes across the country. He has completed 25 triathlons till date, of which 12 were podium finishes. He came first in 9 of these triathlons. His best international race was the 4th place at the Thailand triathlon in 2015. He trains people today in triathlon and duathlons, and also offers sports injury, rehab injury, as well as fitness related to diabetes and hypertension. Welcome, Vignan. Dr. Vignan on board. Hello? Dr. Vignan?
Hi. Hey, hi, Deepika. Thanks for the intro. Sorry, I forgot to unmute.
Yeah. And our third panelist and esteemed holistic health healer is Ravi Mantha. He works with clients in wellness and health through his expertise in neurophysiology, curing chronic signs, nutrition and microbiome, exercise science, emotional release therapy, spiritual awakenings and consciousness. He is a highly accomplished speaker and has spoken at several TEDx events across the world. He has also written 2 books in the area of health, all about bacteria, published 2012. And in 2015, he wrote another book, The Baby Elephant Diet. Welcome, Ravi Mantha, on board.
Thank you so much, Deepika. Very, very happy to be here. Hello, everybody.
Yeah. So we will start with Shri Devi. In this post-COVID scenario, what should people focus on from food and nutrition point of view?
You know, a lot of research is showing that poor nutritional status and non-communicable diseases are what is affecting people with poor nutritional status and non-communicable diseases. I've been talking about anti-inflammatory diet ever since I started working in this field, and the inflammation link has been also studied so much right now, even more so with the COVID situation. So basically, I'm preaching and talking about the same thing I've been going on and on about, how your gut should be healthy. Gut strength is most important for absorption of nutrients and to have great immunity. So I promote foods that heal gut and increase gut health. And right now, and also I'm taking from our traditional wisdom and using a lot of immune boosting concoctions and to keep mucus out. Mucus means this acidity. Acidity means inflammation in the body, and our goal is to keep inflammation out and have the immunity high. So using all kinds of Ayurvedic, herbs from our Ayurveda, and also using modern sciences to understand why fruits and vegetables are more important, and how fruits and vegetables and soap seeds and nuts and sprouts and all of that, greens and microgreens and all of this, how they go beyond the vitamins and minerals, and how they, how they have a lot of phytonutrients and chemicals that increase the immunity and bring out the antioxidant properties of the food. So that's what I've been promoting, creating recipes. This lockdown has made me realize how important the work that we are doing is, and trying to reach out to people more and more with simple techniques. My greatest desire for always been in my talks and workshops, I say, I want to make women or men and children get into the kitchen. I want them to have fun. I want women to think that it's sexy to be in the kitchen, and men to think that it's sexy to be in the kitchen. So now with the lockdown, people are actually having control of what they're eating. So that's what I'm trying to educate people on, what to use to cook, what kind of ingredients are going to help in boosting their immunity. Plant-based, because studies show that milk is mucus causing, sugar, highly processed foods, meat are all high inflammatory. So eating a lot of greens, a lot of fruits, vegetables, soaked seeds and nuts, and creating recipes to make it fun and tasty is what my main goal is here. And that is what I'm doing right now. Basically continuing to do what I've always been doing with Vibrant Living.
Thank you, Sridevi. Dr. Vignan, I'd like to ask you this question. How does exercise contribute to immunity and health?
Hi, thanks for the question, Deepika. So I just wanted to talk about what's happening right now with my athletes. There's increased work hours, there's more work, and there's more sitting right now. People are indoors more often, so they're not much vitamin D as they were getting before. They're not actually walking around cubicles. Is like, so when you're in your office, you're actually spending time going from your desk to your friend's desk or desk, and that activity has reduced a lot. So all of the benefits there have been lost. So what is the benefit of exercise that we have specifically that you can get? One is that it just increases the resources being spent from the body, like glycogen being mobilized and then being converted to glucose. So your body has a lot more resources to use to be able to fight infections. That's one. Second, you have increased body temperature. That's going to kill bacteria, or it's just going to increase the enzymatic activity that you have. That actually helps to fight infections, or just increase the regular body effects. Next, you have, when you breathe, when you take in deep breaths during exercise, you're going to flush bacteria from your respiratory tract, bacteria and any pathogens, any dust or microbes that are going to cause infections out of your respiratory system. You have better sleep because the stress hormones are reduced. You have better hormones. So your stress hormones are reduced. The good hormones, the ones that make you feel happy, those are increased. And overall, I've been noticing a trend, like people, just by exercising, all the stress, the added stress of working that they're having now, that's reducing a lot. Okay, just by a moderate exercise of 30 minutes a day and things like that. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Vignan. Ravi, people often look at health as only food and medicine. However, you were speaking the other day that health issues, when it comes up, is often a combination of a lot of different
We can hear you, ma'am. You just continue.
Yeah, Ravi, are you? Hello?
Yes, we can
Hi,
hear
Ravi.
you.
Yeah, but Ravi is not responding. It's his
I
answer.
think
Okay.
Ravi's internet, he has an issue with connection, I think.
Okay, so we'll just go ahead then. We'll ask Ravi the questions at the end.
Sure.
Shri, can you speak a little more about how veganism supports good health? Because you've been an ardent, I would say, follower and a promoter of it. Very few people know the advantages of it.
I promote plant-based foods more than veganism, though I love animals and all beings, of course. But being vegan is more of a philosophy, and plant-based is, mainly about food and where it comes from and how it affects the planet at large, and how it affects your body, your health, or your immunity to start with. So yeah, plant-based foods are easy to digest. So your body is expending less energy, in which case you are actually keeping the energy for more important things, because a plant-based meal digests in 2-3 hours, whereas your meat or animal-based foods take 7 to 8 hours to even 24 to longer hours, which means that they're sitting in your gut and in your colon and causing all kinds of trouble and causing acidity. We're talking about anti-inflammation. The inflammatory link is big in not just in COVID situation, but for any acidity, and inflamed body is breeding ground for diseases. So we want to not have our body in that condition. We want to have it in alkaline condition so that you stay healthy. You can, so that it wards off whatever virus hits you, or whatever disease, it cannot live there. So that's alkaline foods. Alkalinity is what you can achieve along with high amounts of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, all of that through plant-based foods. I focus more on promoting plant-based foods rather than, I gently discourage people from eating meat and milk products. I've seen a lot of people working out, looking strong physically, but having a lot of gut issues. Gut issues means that something is not going right, and that is the indication for a lot of problems to come. So even with the COVID stuff, I talk about keeping your gut clean. How do you know that your gut clean? How your gut is clean? It is by knowing that. It is by seeing how many times you're eliminating gas, bloating, acidity, and all of that. Plant-based foods promote good gut health and keeps your body in alkaline condition. And you can grow so much more in small amount of resources. So not to deplete what we've got. I think we understand very well now that we have to change our ways about our living and our eating to help ourselves and help our beings around and the planet at large. So that is the reason. There are so many more. You tell me how much time we got, and then I can go on
We can
about
stop for
all
now.
the.
There are questions as we will ask the whole panel, so
Sure.
that we can even respond there. Ravi, I'm sure you're back, but what we will do is I will take you towards the end and ask you all the questions so that the flow continues. I'm just going to ask Dr. Vignan one more question before we come to you and ask you both the questions and that we have time for. Dr. Vignan, what can I do in a lockdown to be healthy in terms of exercise? Many times, most of us have not been exercising during lockdown. We were at home.
Yeah, thanks for the question. So this has been a thing. So somebody earlier had like this hibernation period for the first 10 to 15 days where they did zero activities. So for my athletes, what I did was I let them go through that hibernation period, because it's such a change, right? I mean, you've gone from being able to. So my athletes, I train them for triathlon. They've gone from being able to run outside, cycle outside, and swim, to not being able to do anything at all and being stuck at home. So I let them have that 15-day or 30-day period where they're completely readjusting their lives, they're figuring out work and that. Then after that, what I've started doing is giving people very basic workouts for those who are beginners, giving them basic workouts, like telling them things like go for a 30-minute brisk walk every day. Everybody can make 30 minutes out of their time. Then I've been telling people to do like HIIT workouts. If you're more busy, if you're like one of the busier people, do like a HIIT workout. HIIT workouts can be as short as 8 minutes. They can be something like jumping jacks for 20 seconds, take 10 seconds off, and then repeat that for 8 minutes. And you can do 2 sets of that. So in 15 minutes, you're basically done with your workout. And then if you have a little more time, brisk walking in the mornings, followed by upper body, lower body, and core workout. So upper body would be push-ups, lower body would be squats, lunges, jumping lunges, or regular lunges. These are the best. And for core, you would want to do like forearm planks. Forearm planks, I find that like one of the best workouts. And all of these videos can be found online. There's so many resources right now. You YouTube it, you can Instagram it, and you find all these resources. So HIIT workouts, if you're busy, uh, brisk walking with upper body, lower body, and core workouts. Other than this, what else I've told people is you're sitting for longer periods of time. So you're sitting for like 10 to 12 hours at your chair, because now what's happening is people are expected to work longer because your managers are coming in and they're saying like, sit for longer, we're sitting for longer, or you have meetings that are going on for longer because people have not much else to do, right? So what I'm telling people is 30 minutes. Put like these blackout timers on your Chrome extension, and put that in, and then make sure that the screen goes black every 30 minutes, and force yourself to go for a 5-minute walk, or at least water cooler breaks. Like make sure that you're not putting water at your desk. You're taking some time to walk. The reason I suggested this was a lot of people are getting lower back pain. A lot of people are getting hip glute pain, which is very avoidable. It's as simple as just being able to walk every 20 minutes instead of putting prolonged pressure on your hips and glutes. So I hope that answers that, Deepika.
Yeah, thanks, Vignan. We're running short of time, so I'm going to just ask you, I'm going to just cut that short. Ravi, now that you're back here, I was asking, we were talking about this some time back, where people only look at health as food and medicine, and they, look at it just that, they put some pills into their body, and they put some they think they should eat some food in a certain way, and that's how they'll get healthy. But you were mentioning that health is a combination of a lot of different issues of their mind and body. So explain how that works.
Yeah. Thank you, Deepika. It's great to be on a panel with two of the top practitioners in Hyderabad, Sri Devi and Dr. Vignan. I actually came up with a holistic framework on wellness and health that I call 7-layer therapy. Basically, there are 7 different layers in the human experience that impact health. The first layer is the chemical or the nutritional layer, which includes food and pharmaceuticals and all the toxins that you ingest. The second layer is the biological layer or the microbiome, which is the 90 trillion cells, the bacterial cells that are also part of your body. So there's 10 times as many bacterial cells as human cells, and that's the microbiome that Sri Devi was talking about earlier. Then there is the mechanical layer, which is exercise, which is how do you strengthen yourself to handle all the stressors that come to us in our daily lives. And the next layer is the electrical layer, which is essentially the software of how the brain controls the body. And it turns out that chronic pain sits in the electrical layer, and that's what I've been specializing in for the last few years. And the next layer is the emotional layer. And as we know that emotions have a huge impact on physical health, and that's something that we need to pay a lot of attention to. And the 6th layer of health is the spiritual layer, which is to do with the inner journey. And then finally, what I call the secret layer, which is cognition itself. So when someone presents with a health issue or a lifestyle issue, as a holistic healer, it is my job to figure out which layer or layers the root cause of the problem is in. Because if you don't treat the source, then you're just treating symptoms, and I'm not really into treating symptoms. So I began my journey in 2012 with all about bacteria, and then I moved into nutrition. And my upcoming book is on curing chronic pain. So what I'm saying is that it's up to us in partnership with a holistic coach to figure out the root cause of the health issue and to heal it at the source. And of course, prevention is really the key about maintaining and even improving our physical and mental health as we age.
So Ravi, can you give us one example of how you how there was an issue and there was, you were able to identify the issue not as a nutrition problem, but much beyond?
Well, it's amazing that about 80% of the problems that we have are actually down to nutrition, but the other 20% are something completely different. For example, I treat a lot of women in their 50s and 60s, and they come to me with problems in mobility, knee pain, tailbone pain, walking issues, all sorts of things to do with the lower half of the body. And one of my first questions to them is, have you had a C-section or any kind of a hysterectomy? Because the brain, when you actually have an operation, it treats it as trauma because the brain has no idea that it was an operation. So what happens is when you have a C-section or a hysterectomy, essentially it's like cutting your body in half, neurologically speaking, and all the muscles below the area of the operation become weak, neurologically weak. That you still have the muscle mass, but you don't have any more brain control over them as much as you used to, and that can lead to huge number of problems as you age. Luckily, with my experience in neurophysiology, what I can do is help you reverse that by strengthening neurologically the brain control over those muscles. And that often gets rid of a lot of problems that would lead ordinarily to a knee replacement or a hip replacement in old age.
Okay, thank you so much. And now we are running short of time, so I have just one question that I will ask all of you. What should one do today for long-term good health? Like if there are 3 things that each one of you can share that we should all do on a regular basis so that we are all the time healthy, that'd be great for us to hear.
Shall I go with it?
Yeah.
Okay. So exercise, of course, Dr. Vignan will talk about. 3 things. So grow your own little patch of greens and have it regularly. Do microgreens, which are just baby greens of different kinds of seeds. They're packed with nutrition because we're not able to trust what is coming to our stores and coming to our tables if you buy from outside, especially when you're talking about eating raw. So grow a little bit and eat that. Make your sprouts, don't underestimate them. They're easy, they're powerhouses of nutrients. So do that. And drink these concoctions. These are fantastic. Do your ginger and turmeric and all kinds of herbal concoctions. They're very healing and they're very neutralizing. So make it a part of those and avoid some key things in your diet. They really play a big role in how healthy and how strong you stay, which are your sugar, refined carbs, refined flours, and highly processed foods. Cut down on your milk and milk products because of the way how animals are injected with all kinds of hormones and antibiotics and all of that. Those will fight against our own immunity. So we want to build immunity from within and not have trouble with that from external forces. So don't get trouble in. Build good from inside with the kind of foods, the right kind of foods. So keep yourself to keep eating local seasonal fruits and vegetables because they're packed with so much more than what you get from faraway places. And now that we are down, I think that's not an option even. So one way, I think we're going to make a lot of good habits, staying at home and, having time to do our own little patch of, balcony gardens, window gardens, kitchen garden, whatever, in little pots, because little goes a long way. So that's my 2 cents of how to go forward with food and nutrition. And keep your gut strong. I have some videos on YouTube channel, Vibrant Living channel, how to make. Now I said don't eat milk products. So they're like, okay, how do I keep my gut healthy? Where do I get probiotics? You can ferment vegetables. There are videos on that, and you can also make yogurt with coconut milk, which is fantastic for your calcium, because you do want to focus on getting enough zinc, enough vitamin D, enough calcium, vitamin C, all of this. This is what you get from eating foods like this. So check out some videos on YouTube channel, and also you can follow me on Instagram. I'm always trying to inspire people because I'm obsessed about food and easy to make healthy, tasty food. So you get ideas and inspired every day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sridevi. Dr. Vignan.
Hi, Deepika. So first, 30 minutes of exercise a day. So it can be any sort of exercise, just walking, could be the jumping jacks, the hit workouts that I described. So any of that. Sridevi had covered processed food. So I personally have stopped having or have limited processed foods as much as possible, and that's been great for me. So I've lost a lot of weight, have a lot of energy. So that's crazy helpful. Listen to your body. So a lot of people nowadays are not listening to their bodies. Listen to the small aches. You don't have to push yourself like crazy in terms of workouts, or you don't have to sleep less. If you feel, don't put an alarm and sleep. Just just take a nap and wake up whenever you wake up, or try to build your own biological clock. You don't necessarily have to while sleeping 10 o'clock, don't have to set an alarm for 6 o'clock. So what's been happening with me is I sleep at 10 o'clock and I get up like 5 minutes before the time I'm supposed to be awake. And I actually feel much fresher than I would if I had actually put an alarm and I woke up with the alarm sounding. So those three are my big tips. Another one would be just walk outside a little bit so that you get sunlight. So because vitamin D has been like an issue recently. Yeah, that's all from me.
Huge.
Ravi. Ravi,
Yeah. Hi. So
yeah.
my big three are sleep, relationships, and fear. And I'll just explain what that is. Sleep, obviously, I agree with Dr. Vignan. Just make sure you're getting enough sleep, because lack of sleep has been linked to obesity. Lack of sleep has been linked to problems with immunity, and obviously chronic stress is the other thing that gets loaded on if you don't get enough sleep. So it's a very, very huge priority. And I'm a big fan of taking afternoon naps. Even if it's a 15-minute nap in the afternoon, if your body allows it, take that. The second thing is relationships. Get toxic people out of your life. Emotional well-being is very important. There is always that one or two people in your life, in your extended family or friend circle, who are poisonous, frankly. They're just sucking energy out of you. And stop being the victim to an energy vampire. Keep your relationships positive and make sure that you're fulfilling each other and not becoming codependent or being toxic to each other. The last thing is fear. What I mean by that is that most of us have an operating system that is actually based on fear, avoiding dangerous things. And what that happens as we get older is that things that cause us fear cause us to pay more attention. For example, newspaper headlines that are showing you the body count from COVID. If you're healthy and if you don't have any other issues, COVID is not going to kill you. Don't worry about it. Stop reading newspaper headlines, because they are out to sell you the most fearful things in order to sell newspapers. So avoid newspaper headlines and stop living in fear. And one last point I'll say about exercise is, Dr. Vignan has covered it all, but the latest in science shows that you can actually get really fit on just 10 minutes of workout a day if you know what you're doing. So you don't have to even devote 30 minutes a day. 10 minutes is enough if you do the right things. Thank you very much.
Ravi, one last question to you, because post-COVID, there's also been this whole fear, psychosis, as well as a lot of mental health related issues. So if you can just spare 1 minute to share what can we do to make ourselves positive.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm a huge optimist. I personally don't believe that COVID is going to change, much at all. I think after a year, we're going to come back full force and we'll be interacting completely normally. And by the way, before the vaccine shows up, I think we'll all get COVID. I think within 2 months, this thing is going to be over, because most of us are already infected and we don't know it. And that's So I don't think we need to worry about COVID. I think we probably have to worry about the next pandemic and let the scientists, figure that out with China and wherever else the source of the problem is. As far as we're concerned, I think we should treat what happened in the last 3 months as a wake-up call personally at an individual level, whether it is focusing on nutrition, whether it is focusing on lifestyle changes like putting more exercise into our lives. And let's just treat this as a one-off, a century, once in a century event where it's 3 months of positive reaffirmation, and we just take these lessons as we go forward into the new and golden era that is about to unfold in front of us.
Thank you so much. Thank you all of you for being wonderful panelists and responding to my questions. And I hope the audience has had some understanding or some awareness and have taken out some insights. Thank you so much, CII, to have given me this opportunity, and thank you all of you. That's all from me. And Subhajit, back to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot. Hello. Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Deepika. Thank you, Ravi. Thank you, Dr. Vignan. And thank you, Ms. Sridevi, for the wonderful session, enlightening. In fact, Dr. Vignan is very known to me because we're part of Hyderabad runners. I think he must be remembering a lot of people who come, like Manoj and Suren and all, who are a part of Dr. Vignan's kind of post-recovery and all the exercises which he does. Thank you. Thank you. It's been a great enlightening session. So it's now my privilege and kind of a pleasure to announce the next panel. I think which is very, very elite, and I'm sure that it's a once in a kind of a lifetime you get to meet such luminaries at one platform and get to interact with them virtually, though at this time. So I would the session which is that we have put together is in conversation with Daaji. I'm sure that he doesn't need any introduction, which I'm sure Dr. Varaprasad Reddy would be giving the introduction. But before that, I have a few things to talk about Dr. Reddy. I think he also doesn't need any introduction, but still as a kind of a call of duty and being a CII, the organizer, I thought I'll just put 1-2 lines about Dr. Varaprasad Reddy. He's been the harbinger of biopharma industry in India, who could bring the next generation biotech products to the reach of common man. I think this Make in India and Atmanirbhar started way back in 1992, I think, with people like him around. And I'm sure that the first vaccine which Shanvac had created in way back in 1997 was more affordable, and it reached to the common man. So I think COVID has taught that it's not about outreach, also it's about affordability, which will matter in our health infrastructure and services. And he's been named Entrepreneur of the Year by Ernst & Young and in healthcare and life sciences. So that's a small introduction about Dr. Varaprasad Reddy. Thank you so much, sir, for your time and accepting our kind invitation to join this. And I would now request you to kindly introduce Daaji and then take over the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So my pranams to Daaji, with whom we are going to have conversation today. Pranamji. And also my namaskarams to all the participants of this program and CII members. All of us here and people around the globe, whether they are in most advanced country or developed country or developing countries or underdeveloped countries, all of them or every one of them, they are going through anxious moments and hard times due to this pandemic created by an invisible particle-like virus. The outcome of this conversation with Daaji, after listening to him and following his advice, I am sure it will give us a lot of solace, comfort, and a new direction to our thinking and lifestyles, to evolve ourselves, to face the new reality after this COVID pandemic. All of us have to be responsible to our well-being, our family members' well-being, and also as members of Confederation of Indian Industry, with all of us having our own enterprises, business houses, we have additional responsibility endowed with earnest duty, rather sacred duty, to our employees, staff members, our business clients, vendors, in nutshell, all stakeholders. As of now, with no cure for the infection, and also there is no proven vaccine to prevent this infection. At present, we are all in a pandemonium condition. In today's world, we all talk about body and mind, but here is a great personality and great visionary who talks of heart, and he advocates that heartfulness is the panacea of our confusion-related tensions and depressions. Century-old Ramchandra mission developed Sahajamarg from ancient Raja Yoga. From this Sahajamarg, Daaji has developed a modern technique of heartfulness meditation. And he founded a Heartfullness Foundation, and he is the global head for this mission. A very practical and pragmatic personality with rational thinking. He is not a recluse like a sage. He does not wear saffron robes or preach that you should renounce the world to attain inner peace. He is like a Raja Yogi, Bhishma, who has been into corporate world and still leading very active life. All of us agree Bhishma Gita is more applicable and adaptable, and it's very appealing to the modern world. He says that like a bird flies on two wings, we too should go places on the two wings called materialism and spiritualism together. He says family life is the best environment in which yogic life blossoms. We often feel that the two are antagonistic to each other. He does not agree, and he has proved it also. Born Kamlesh Patel ji, he did masters in pharmacy and he set up a very successful pharma business in New York. In 2011, he took over as president of Ramchandra Mission, and under his guidance, the movement of heartfulness expanded exponentially. Now he has millions of followers in 130 countries and nearly 10,000 teachers. He trained them. He trained 10,000 teachers, and in turn, those teachers are training the students. They are giving the technique of heartfulness meditation. He regularly writes articles to national and international magazines addressing the youth. Daaji wants to show them the right path through the heart-based meditation with a scientific methodology. So now let us meet natural friendly Guruji, who still looks like an industrialist and a scientist rather than like a Swamiji. He also looks like a modern farmer working on Kanha Shanti Vanam, a sprawling 1,200-acre greenland, Shamshabad, a suburb of Hyderabad. This house is 2 lakh trees. That's why he called him, he is nature friendly. He himself personally took care of the planting of 2 lakh trees, that sprawling area. He talks straight and simple and does not confuse us with spiritual mumbo jumbo. So be as comfortable as I am in front of him. Guruji, pranam once again. So shall I start my little doubts or questions on my behalf and also on behalf of my CII members? Daaji.
Sir, I just wanted to play a small video before you start the session. It's a small 2 minutes video, which we would like to play.
Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
No, 45. We started at 45.
Yes, sir. 45. Audio mute chesada. Audio mute chesada.
Chesa.
Alna mute chesada.
Alna video కూడా mute చేసి.
లేదు మాకు వస్తుంది.
Daniel, can you play the video?
మాకు వస్తుంది.
వస్తుంది.
ఇప్పటివరకు యాక్చువల్గా వీడియో రాలేదు, మీరు సెషన్ ఇచ్చిన ఇప్పుడు వచ్చాను చూసుకోలేదు.
It's clear. Crystal clear.
Thank you. And now request Varaprasad Reddy sir to kindly take over and.
Yes, sir. So, Daaji, once again, pranams to you, sparing your valuable time for people who are attending to this. Daaji, I have few questions, and these are all emanating from the minds of our members, and I'm only representing their opinions rather questions. See, these days it has become order of the day to talk about yoga and meditation. Even allopathic doctors are saying your disease is psychosomatic. It is a psychosomatic one. Practice meditation and you'll be all right. That's what they are saying. And my basic question is how our inner peace can change or affect issues or events happening outside. For example, can I stop devastation of corona by sitting in a corner and looking up to myself? Is it possible? Kindly enlighten us.
My first of all, gratefulness to CII members and the team who chose us and invited Heartfullness to share what this Heartfullness is all about. So my appreciation to all the elders and friends of CII, and especially Dr. Varaprasad Reddy Garu. Thank you for having us. Of course, these days yoga and meditation has become a term. It's a gossip word these days. And often we understand that meditation is such a difficult thing. But to tell you the truth, it is as simple as breathing once you get the knack of it. Just, when a child begins to walk, we have seen how many times we have fallen. And we as parents and grandparents also have seen our children and grandchildren falling at each little step they take for the first time. Meditation is also like that. People who try meditation, reading books, watching videos, it's of no use. You need a guide. You need certain level of energy. If you don't have it, you can borrow it. Borrow it from your masters, from your guide, from your elders, from your father, mother, who are in tune with the higher source, higher consciousness. To give you a simple example, if you sit beside a person who is angry, and especially our sisters, women, they can feel just by being near to a certain individual, they feel the good vibrations or the bad vibrations. The very touch will give you shiver their body. The energy levels also can be felt, especially when you are sitting with a restless person who is angry, you also get disturbed. Similarly, when you are seated with a person of caliber whose consciousness is so refined, and when you meditate with pros, I think that effect glues on to us. For example, if you play your game with Kohli or Virat Kohli or this guy Sharma, Rohit Sharma, or if you happen to have the luck of playing basketball with Michael Jordan, all these great guys, it's an opportunity. So why not meditate with the great guys and feel the benefit? Sometimes, it may not be your own motor, but the wind that carries the sail will drift you in certain direction. So let's make use of the spiritual wind initiated through such people of very high level of consciousness. Such individuals, I think, they are able to create state at will through their yogic powers. Are they there? They are very much there. They are not fossils left over. We read books as you had seen, my fondness for Paramhansa, Ramakrishna Paramahansa is immense. Whenever as a child I used to read those books. But then those days I used to feel so defeated because a person like him, for whom you crave, had gone in the last century. The many great individuals who have passed on, whenever we talk of great people, we say they were there once upon a time. I'm sure during their lifetime also, many youngsters also must have thought, oh, Ramakrishna, another pujari in a Kali temple, Vivekananda, another wanderer, Lord Krishna, another thief and a player. And Karna and Duryodhana labeled him so nicely, a trickster or a magician. So how to identify such individuals in the modern society and be benefited by it? Unfortunately, we are mesmerized by, the clothes, the dresses. And I don't have to give you a lot of examples because then I'll be having a lot of Twitters and so many comments. But you all are very smart. Just as in the material world, we thrive with material success. What is it that drives us, that calls us, pulls us towards spirituality? What does spiritual success mean to each one of us? Is it peace of mind that despite of having COVID, despite of having cancer, despite of having blah, 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 so many other things, we can still remain settled within ourselves? These two words excites me a lot, swasthya. It's a Sanskrit word, which is often also used in Hindi, Gujarati. I'm sure it's being used also in the Telugu, swasthya, right? Swa Asthya, one who is settled within oneself, one who is settled within one's deepest core. Such an individual, we can say he has a good swasthya, one who is settled within. So, per contra, one who is not settled within, but always using head, being logical, being always argumentative, he cannot be restful because he is not settled. He may have a perfect physical health. In Sanskrit, we call maintaining physical health is all about maintaining your Annamaya kosha. We have 5 koshas: Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanmaya, and it goes on to the last layer of our Atman, they call Anandamaya kosha. And once you are settled there, whatsoever may happen on the outer periphery of these koshas, you will not be affected, though you will be going through all the inner turmoils, but your inner will be still. It's like an eye of a storm, see? Another word that comes to my mind in English is immunity. Dr. Reddy is so familiar and is a master of this field because he has brought this biotechnology in India in a massive way, in a very innovative way, in a very economical way. So immunity is all about how I am united within myself. I am unity. When you see the spelling of immunity, it's unit. I am unity within. Without this unity, you cannot have opportunities in life. If you are not united within your family, if you're not united with your administrative staff, what sort of an organization or a family you're going to raise? Right? So, unity within myself, unity with my people creates opportunities. Opportunity also has this word unity within.
Opportunity, yes.
Right? Similarly, when we come together as many individually form community. See, there is also unity in community. See? And when there is unity within myself, which is all yoga, that I am united with my higher self, I am settled within my higher self. That creates a level of immunity. You may be physically fragile, but you're centered, rather your centeredness gives you so much of balance and so much of peace. It is not that you're ignoring your health, not at all. But a person who is focused within, he takes care of all other koshas in a natural way. If I had to take antibiotics, I would take antibiotic to maintain my outermost kosha or the layer or Annamaya kosha. If I had to enrich my Manomaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha, and Vijnanmaya kosha, I will have to educate myself, do certain exercises to fulfill those things. But when it comes to enriching my innermost kosha, Anandamaya kosha, or the layer of the soul, how am I going to enrich that? So we all know how to nourish our body at each level. We also know how to maintain our emotional well-being. We also know how to maintain our mental well-being. But hardly we are exposed to the spiritual well-being. See, how are we going to nourish our soul? Nourishing the mind is easy. You can contemplate, you can educate yourself through various means. Physically, we all know how to nourish food. The previous engagement you all shared, you all heard how impactful it is to have right food, right timing, sleep, emotional health. All this does matter. It surely does matter. But then not at the cost of ignoring the spiritual health. That is center of everything. You can maintain all other 4 koshas, but if this innermost kosha is deprived and it is starving, it's of no use. We have to have this harmony between all 5 koshas, 5 layers of our existence. And then there is beauty, there is some balance. And this can easily happen when we adopt certain spiritual practices. Now, when it comes to questions like, what is a spiritual practice? Some of the, if I ask my grandmother, she would say, oh, I do enough of my dipam and japam and mantram and, I go to temple every day. I said, good. But whenever I have asked her this question, why do you do all these things? She said, I believe in God, see. I say, it's a great thing. But why do you believe in God? When you ask, even to your grandparents, they will perhaps slap you. They'll say, don't you think I'm a believer of God? But that's not the question. The question was, why do I believe in God? Then how do we differentiate between a person who does not and who does believe in God? See, person who says, I don't believe in God, Dr. Reddy, he's quite honest. Because he said, I have not experienced God, so I'm not going to believe it. He's honest. But a person who has never felt the presence of God and say, I believe in God, on what basis? Science also demands proof. No, let us say there's a coincidentally or God's luck, if a laboratory comes up with the COVID vaccine, right? And they'll say, okay, it takes care of the 30 varieties of mutations of COVID virus. You're so lucky to find such a vaccine, but it will have to go through human trials and prove it time and again that yes, it can cure and it does not have side effect that can kill you. Two things are important. Similarly, when it comes to experiencing God versus mere knowledge that I believe in God, there's a vast difference, and Heartfullness way, I think, guides us towards this incremental experiences of godly presence within as well as everywhere.
Thank you, Daaji. What I infer is, in physics, you might have known it, a process of induction. When you sit very in proximity with people with very high spiritual power, they get induced the same vibrations and energies. That's what you are mentioning. We should be lucky to have proximity of yogic gurus, and that's where we require more yoga practitioners so that they are spread across the population, and each one of us will have an opportunity to be in proximity with practitioners. So we go to next question, Daaji. The whole world is revolving around symbols, symbols. Not only religions, even political parties position themselves in our minds with some symbol or other. Hindus worship God in some form or other. We believe that it helps us to focus. Even other religions, though they don't claim, but they also, they condemn adultery, I know that, but they also have holy symbols. But in meditation, you encourage formlessness. You suggest that we have to get rid of form or shape. Is it possible, especially for people in Hindu Dharma? They are all ordained to believe in some shape or form. That is my question, Daaji.
Yes, sir. I think this question troubles a lot of individuals who pursue spirituality while they are transcending the religious dogmas. Initially, it may be good. This is the great Swami Vivekananda used to say, forms are great, but they should not enslave you. The purpose of spiritual practice or religious practices is to transcend akar into nirakar, from form to formlessness. If this is the trajectory, when are you ever going to move out of the forms? Being restricted to the particular form, I'm limiting godly approach. When you read Vedas and Upanishads, give me one single episode or a sloka or an instance where there is a mention of external worship of that order or creation of the temples. Nowhere in Vedas, nowhere in Upanishads, there is a mention of temple. Do you know why? Temple came much later. When the humanity came down to such a level, they could not feel the presence everywhere. Then they started saying, okay, maybe I'll feel the presence here in this holy place, maybe in this holy person. So they started worshipping places and people out of whatever be the reason. See, today, if you find a temple, Corona Devi temple, and you worship that goddess, you put some kumkum, and there will be enough, I would say, enough people. You will have to cross or close your industry, and if you start a Corona Devi temple, you perhaps might make crores also. There are enough fools to follow such things. You see? So the forms and are okay in the beginning, see, but the purpose is when we essence, then the essence is felt in our heart that yes, I can feel the presence through these symbols. A time comes, I get away from these symbols. I don't depend on symbols. You see, it's like when you are disabled and you use cane or crutch. It's okay, but once you become healthy, would you still carry a cane and a crutch? No. So when I develop spiritually, a time comes where I feel presence everywhere. Then where is the need to specifically feel the God in a limited form? See? Our sages were very smart, very wise, very intelligent people. They did create later on the symbols so that the ordinary human can grasp. See, that this is a representation of godliness. Representation does not mean that this is God. We revere it, we respect it, we worship it. Worship the thing they represent, godliness. But out of fear and out of greed, we continue to do this forever. Even though we know this does not help me, I have to transcend this. You see, you must have also noticed going to your office, the day you don't do namaskaram to your preferred God or a chosen God, how you felt. Halfway through the car, you'll say, oh, I forgot to do namaskaram to my, puja room. And from the car itself, you'll say namaste to your puja room. See? Why? It's out of fear. Something wrong might happen. And ultimate fear is what may happen to me if I don't do this when I die. Maybe God might punish me and send me to hell. That's a fear most people have. And also a great temptation. Oh, if I do all these things, few coins to the beggars, feed some milk to the buffaloes or cows, or feed some milk to the nagam or the cobra on Shivratri. But if the same cobra is found on another Ratri, you'll kill him. So this is what we are, paradoxical human beings who are so selfish, terribly selfish. The other day, Varaprasad Garu, I was reading a story, very interesting story, the dialogue between a man and a lion. So the lion was saying, I'm better than you. The man says, no, you cannot be. I am the most evolved human being today, most evolved creature on this planet. You guys are wild people, violent people. So lion was very wise. He says, you, the man, Let's decide this out through others' opinion. We'll take 3 persons on the way. Whoever comes first, we'll ask them. So 3 individuals, but if there's a majority, then 2 we should do. So first they meet a tree on the way. So they ask a question. Lion asks, my dear tree, who do you think is the best? Who is the most evolved, man or the lion? So tree says, of course, it's the lion. So man is very perturbed. He said, I put seeds for you. I grew you. I watered you. And you're still ungrateful fellow. You're telling me that I'm a lower person. Tree said, yes. Why did you grow me? You had an idea that you'll make money out of me. You'll make your children throw stones at my fruits. Even though I give the shade, you'll keep counting the fruits. Oh, how much money will I make out of this tree? But this lion simply sleeps and walks out. He's simply grateful, he's at peace, he's rested and moves on. But you calculate money, ultimately when I stop yielding fruits, you will cut me. You'll burn me. So now you tell me who is better. So man says, okay, I agree with you. Now they go to the second animal that comes on the way. It's the cow. Cow is the same story. I gave birth to my children. You took them away and made them work in your farm. When they became old, you slaughtered them. I continued giving milk while I was young. The day I became older, you threw me out. So again I say, just as the tree said, lion is better, I also have the same opinion. Lion is better. So this is the state of us, human beings, absolutely selfish. The day we move out of this selfishness and go towards this inner universality, selflessness, then the true joy will come. See, true humanity can be expressed through this empathy, concern for others, compassion. And Corona, I think, demands some level of karuna from us, compassion from us. And nature is trying to see how compassionate we can be together. Again, when we look at ourselves through the eye of meditation, it sensitizes us. Just as, a lady is busy looking at the mirror and correct herself. Similarly, when I look within myself, it gives me the opportunity of adjustment, correction, transformation. See?
Oh, sorry. Now?
Sir, your voice is on mute. Varprasad Reddy, sir. Yeah, unmute.
Ledandy, I'm talking clearly. Okay.
Now it's clear.
Okay. So, Daaji, once again, you have proven a point by saying the story. Man is more with mind, not with heart. That's why I think probably you might have founded Heartfullness Foundation. So he has logic. When cow goes out of milk, he wanted to get rid of it. Lion doesn't have that kind of calculations or logic. So it uses probably heart only, not mind. Thank you very much for that story. Now, I move to the other question. Daaji, we often treat meditation, tranquility, and peace as an answer to all our problems. But don't you think that we need some brainstorming activity? Creation came out of Chavos, Pralayam, the deluge. Churning of Milky Ocean, or rather we call it Kshirosagar Madham, was necessary to get nectar of life. Flowing water like river, ever agile sea are more productive than a calm, inactive water of pond. Without commotion, no new thoughts could arise in our mind. Without conflict, things do not even happen. In such circumstances, how all-time peace can be productive or useful. I mean, all-time, I said underline all-time. To achieve all-time peace in the society, sometimes government or any responsible NGOs to take strong corrective measures, like sometimes combating terrorism, to attain ultimate peace to the society. So once in a while, mind should be churning for new ideas, new thoughts. What is your answer for that?
See, again, when we look at mind's work, which is all about Manomaya Kosha. Okay. Now, when our attention is focused on Anandamaya Kosha, it's too far, far, far away from it. Infinity. We talk of light years, you can say Manomaya Kosha is few light years away from Anandamaya Kosha. See? There is no harm in mentally remaining busy. So there is no harm at all, as long as our mind is focused on the rightful thing. When Lord Shiva was busy, so-called busy, with this Shri Sagar Manthanam, outside maybe churning, but inside he was not churning, he was still. In a family, when I'm angry, when I come home from office, furious and shouting and screaming and disturbed, see the amount of, the kind of atmosphere it creates in the house. See? Everybody takes a distance. They will go or disappear in their own rooms. They will not show the face. Not right now, not with Papa. Papa is in a bad spirit today. People run away from us. Even the most loved ones will go away and say, okay, let us give him a space until he settles down. So churning of the mind or the activity has nothing to do with peace of inner self.
Oh.
See, as a child, you must have played the top, kya bolte in Telugu? That top. Bongaram. So did you play it, sir?
Yes, yes.
I also played like crazy in my village, see? And whenever the speed was there, it felt as if it's not moving at all.
Yes, still.
Right? Yes, still. But when it slows down,
it shows up.
It wobbles and then finally gives up. So, a speedy mind and peace, you don't compare them. There's nothing to do with each other. This is one dimension at a physical level or a mental level. But the stillness is somewhere else.
Very good.
See? So it is good to be put mental agony. It is required. You see, if I don't lift weights and I don't give stress to my muscles, if I don't give resistance to my muscles, they will not develop.
Correct. So mental churning is necessary.
It is required. And to a large extent, even some level of stress, what the science call it today eustress, which is a beneficial stress. Imagine a child, he says, I'm not stressed, Papa, I don't have to study. Then you better worry. He better have stress. You need to have some stress. But not to the extent that it can break you.
Correct.
I've also observed, sometimes when you are driving with someone and your friend is driving so fast, 180 kilometers an hour, that's not good. But if he drives another careful person, if a very careful friend drives you to some place to Vijayawada and it takes you 9 hours to reach there, you will not go with him again. So too slow and too fast is not good. So mind has to be, I think, at a certain level of activity. Not so balanced, yes. And Gita also says the same thing. Let us maintain some level of moderation. See? Moderation is the key. And when we are sensitized from within ourselves, it tells us when to stop, when to start.
Yes. Thank you, Daaji. One more question. Is it really possible to sit alone and meditate? You get disturbed by several incidents, persons, situations, by your own spouse sometimes. They are not concerned about your peace process. And how about society? You develop righteousness through meditation. All right. How do you reconcile with what is happening in society? For example, bribery, nepotism, red tapeism. You get disturbed. In such situations, you may be righteous, but not society around you. What is that we should do at that time? Should we turn blind eye and pretend as if nothing is existing around us? Then what good comes out of this process of?
Well, process of meditation helps us integrate ourselves and understand the situation better, where I can make a change and where I cannot make the change. You know, there was one movie, Man Got to Know His Limits. Who said that? One of the movies. It's a Western movie. Man got to know his limits. When he goes too far and expects that, yes, I can correct Donald Trump, it's not going to happen. Or I must finish off this dynasty ruling my India. It's not going to happen. See? And as long as we allow these people to rule us, inferior people to rule us, they'll continue to rule. You see, earlier you mentioned the idea of terrorism.
Yes.
See? Versus idealism. Your question is all about idealism. See? Now, idealistic person will say, why should I play with politics? I better stay away from it. My Santa Pharma is great. I have to devote myself to development of it. Now, of course, you are out of it now. But Sattvic people, by and large, would say, I don't like to indulge in politics because it's so dirty. But then you will allow yourself to be ruled by the inferiors.
Yes, that is the paradox.
Right? Now, what happens to terrorists? Terrorist people are very united. All these terrorists, be they in country A or country B or country C, their one purpose is, let us be united. Brotherhood of terrorists.
For a common cause of destruction.
For a common cause. If they find one particular virulent virus or a bacteria, they'll share it with the rest of the terrorists so that they can maximize the damage. Or if they find a bomb, they'll immediately tweet and say, okay, they share it. If someone finds COVID vaccine today, do you think they're going to sell it at 1 rupee a vial?
No.
No, not at all. You see, Remdesivir, made by this Gilead War company, and you see how much they are charging.
Already one company announced.
Yes, it's impossible. In the United States, it's close to $1,000 per vial for treatment. It's impossible to afford. So this is the situation of Sattvic people.
Yes.
Tamasic people remain united for a common cause.
Yes.
So I really call them, they're really, really good. But when it comes to Sattvic, somehow we become so selfish and we say, okay, I am now supposed to practice meditation and enter the heaven myself. You'll forget your wife also, and you'll expect 100 virgin girls waiting for you in heaven with a garland. This is so much of wrong representation of the values and the moral standards. It has been coming down since ages. I mean, it goes beyond Ramayana period also. So meditation, I would say it's not a magical solution for everything, but it's a fundamental thing to solve many problems of our life. I give you one small statement that I make often and share it with our friends, that the goal of our present goal is to be happy. At all dimensions, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Right? We want to be happy. Now, can this happiness be possible when you are restless? Not possible. See? Restlessness steals away your harmony because it disturbs your mind. So you can say in the field of harmony only, you can have happiness. Now, how do I come and become more harmonious within myself so that I can have the results of happiness? Harmony is possible when my mind is able to contemplate, when my mind is able to focus. When my mind is not able to focus, all these things are not possible. But when is this focused mind possible? Through the exercise. And that exercise is meditation. See? Now you can connect the dots. See how meditation can really help us escape sorrow and bring about peace. And peace resulting ultimately into happiness.
So this meditation will bring in that kind of maturity to view this as a problem outside, not within you.
It is always a solution to many problems. Actually, when we meditate, let us see, even in the corporate world, when you have issues with the employees or which you have issues with the product, old product, and you have a plan to launch a new product. And when you meditate, of course, you are meditating on a divine presence. It has a purpose of spiritual essence to it, see? But sometimes we do get distracted by such engagements, by new product that I'm going to launch. And while you are meditating, you will be able to see all the intricacies involved at 360 degrees, where you can go wrong, what I must be doing to solve the problem. So it highlights all the defects. At the same time, it also shows us how to improvise on the next step. And meditation can really help not only in this material world, but bringing about understanding, mutual understanding with other colleagues. When you reflect, oh, I was wrong, I must say sorry to my friend. You will not hesitate when you're meditative.
So meditation gives you purity of mind, and purity of mind will lead to clarity of thought. So you'll be more efficient, and whatever you do is definitely going to give a result. So meditation that way helps.
Yes, sir. You hit the right. I think you have understood the essence that meditation creates a level of purity, and it is this purity that weaves our destiny with our fellow beings at the same time with the ultimate.
Correct.
Right?
Excellent.
Yeah.
We have short of time. We'll ask 2 questions only are there. My voice is coming back to me. As a pharmacist, do you expect medicine for coronavirus or herd immunity the only solution? Meanwhile, let us engage ourselves in cleaning our mind thought process. What is your suggestion?
Well, this is a tough question because corona is something that affects us at a physical level. And later on, when this disease catches on to you, our emotions are disturbed, mental peace is lost. Okay. Will there be a medicine? We are all optimistic. There are some headways made by many companies. There is a better product than the remdesivir that has just come up by Glen Pharma, which is 110 rupees a pill or so. And there's another company that has also come up. And so we are all hopeful that antiviral drugs will solve the problem. As far as vaccine is concerned, one of the doctors whom I was consulting in United States, he says, Daaji, where this one virus, one strain started from China, but now there are more than 30 mutations already has happened. Unlike many other viruses, this virus is quite unique. Each time it jumps hosts,
it changes its shape.
Yeah, it becomes more virulent, it becomes more potent.
Correct.
And logically, if you see also, when one virus, one person infecting today close to 11 million on the book, we don't know how many more are there who are not noticed. The number can go up to 50 million. The rate of infection is only spearheading. Who knows, it might even pick up more than 100,000 a day.
Wow.
And when such is the situation, because, if it could start from one person and in fact 11 million today, now this 11 million is going to only make it worse.
Yes.
So to me, vaccine, though it's a hope, but knowing the nature of this virus which constantly mutates, you'll have to continue including more and more species of this virus, varieties of viruses. So as the disease is spreading, we'll have to create and recreate another recreation of a virus. I mean, a vaccine will be needed. The solution to me is to find a molecule that will kill this virus. The new drug is a better solution than vaccine. Though I'm a firm believer of vaccination, see, because it prevents it before it comes. That's the beauty of
Prevention
this.
is better than cure.
Yes.
Daji, short time, we request you to give a practical session of nutrition for 1 or 2 minutes after answering last question.
You mean, Dr. Varaprasad Reddy, you are making me laugh.
Good.
No.
Question. If I am touching Annamaya question, I am happy.
Sir, Annamaya question, we will have to take lunch. For Anandmaya kosha, it doesn't happen in 1 minute, sir. So what I can do, I can send you a link. You can share with the interested members.
Okay.
And follow the link. It's a master class on meditation.
Okay.
Right. So whenever they have time, sir.
Lastly, what my question is, you built a mammoth auditorium, big auditorium, for 1 lakh capacity, and you have planted lakhs of trees there. You have what you call created a new world there, wonderful world. Very impressive structure, and also the nature is really blooming there. So many trees around. Probably you might have anticipated this kind of physical distancing. That's why it's such a big mammoth hall, which is useful for future gatherings. People can sit quite apart and be still in meditation.
The soul with various koshas, the layers about it. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And today I'm going to speak about turn your passion into profession. How you exactly turn your passion into profitable business. So in this pandemic moment, there are many people who feels like, what am I going to do in my life? What is this? I'm working in one source and this is only one source of job I'm doing. If something happened, what happened? These fears are creating in most of the people in this pandemic moment. So to come out of this, how you exactly come out of this is having a right vision and a mission. think of a giver perspective. When you think as a giver, like what the world needs right now, create a product, create your own product or a services that I want to give to the world. What are exactly I give to this world? So this, you have to work on your inner skills, connect to your inner child. When you exactly connect to your inner child, you come out of something that you want to give to the world. Either it is a product, either it is a services. Okay. So let me tell you something. Every single soul can create 7 streams of income for themselves. They create 7 streams and focus on 7 streams of income. This is where we connect in the divine path. Okay. So one thing is how we create, for example, there is a one person who is working on one source of income. He's working on a job. He gets stressed out because there are various things. He thinks, okay, I'm focusing only on one source of income. I'm working in a software company, for example. So in that software you work, you get a salary, you're not happy all the time, you get stressed. Why? Because there is no other source of income that you have. When you create multiple sources of income, that's where you feel very happy. Okay. So you have to how to create this is you have to nourish yourself, expand your knowledge and nourish your soul. Okay. So first and foremost thing that you do is creating a vision and mission for yourself. What is that what is that I love to do? What is that I'm going to give to the world? What that I can give to the world? And what is the solution that I can give to the world? What is the product that I can create? And how the product can give the solution to the people who in need in it, and the services that are going to create. For example, you write a book. So writing a book, how many people I can reach? What is the market I reach? Like, what is that I can give to the world? When you put that heart in your book, it will reach to huge amount of people. When you put your heart in something, you reach to many people. So I'm going to teach you this power of self-love meditation, where you raise your vibration to your heart chakra. The moment you raise your vibration to your heart chakra, whatever you do, people love. You create love around, love energy all around you. People love to work with you. You attract clients in your business, and you attract love in all at your house and in your job. Everybody starts supporting you. They take your decision. Why they are taking your decision? Because you raised your vibration to your heart. Okay, let me tell about all the chakras, 7 chakras. Okay, so your heart chakra is like a god, and your body is a temple. So when you're operating from your heart chakra, how it will be? You will be kindness, you'll be happy, and you'll be loved. All the energies around is so happy. Okay, so there is another chakra which under the heart chakra called solar plexus chakra. When you're operating from that lower chakra, what happens when you're operating from solar plexus chakra? When you're operating from that chakra, you release ego, anger, unhappy situations, grudges, all these irritated things you release from that chakra. Okay, so for this, in order to avoid this, we raise our vibration to our heart chakra, where our aura get increased, and we reach to whatever we want to manifest, we will start manifesting in our life. There is one more thing which everybody are facing in life, is swallowing anger. Every day-to-day basis, we swallow anger to make other people happy. Other people are happy, you swallow your anger, swallowing anger in one state. You don't love yourself. You create self-criticism of yourself. You started getting angry on yourself because you swallowed so much of anger. You end up into depression. So to avoid all this situation, you want to manifest 7 streams of income for yourself. You have to raise your vibration to your heart chakra to a higher chakras, throat chakra, your higher level of chakras. Okay. So I'm doing this meditation. Before doing this meditation, I just want to tell you all, please write down what amount of money you want to manifest every single month. For example, you can write an X amount, like I want to manifest 1 lakh or 5 lakh, whatever amount that you feel, you can write down that. And apart from that, put that amount and split it and create, in this process, you create 7 streams of income where you connect to your inner child. When you create the 7 streams of income, you connect, the moment you connect to your inner child, you have to split that amount in this path you have designed now. Okay. So let us do this power of self-love meditation. I want everyone to close your eyes. Okay. Close your eyes, everyone. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath and breathe out. Take a deep breath and breathe out. Relax each and every cell of your body and relax. Put your both hands on your heart chakra. Put your both hands on your heart chakra. Say your name. I love you. I really, really love you. Say again, I love you. I really, really love you. Thank you for being with me all these years. You're talking to your inner child. Thank you for motivating me for all these years. Thank you for showing me the right path, the divine path in my life. Thank you. Connect to your inner child. Ask yourself, what am I passionate about? What are my hobbies? What are my talents? Ask yourself, what is that I love to do the most in my life? What are the learnings that I have in my journey of life that I can give to the world? What is my purpose for this life? What is the product or service that I can give to the world that can give the solution for the people who needs? Observe the messages that you're getting from your inner child. Observe it. Note down those messages in your mind. Just note down those messages. Now you say yourself, thank you for showing me. Thank you for connecting me to myself in this divine path. Thank to the universe. Thank you, universe, for all the love that I've been given throughout my life. Thank you, universe, for all the happiness that I've been given throughout my life. Thank you, universe, for abundance of wealth that I've been given throughout my life. Say your name, I love you. I really, really love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Get aware of the surroundings and slowly and gently open your eyes. So now, in this process, you just been on a space where you connect to your inner child and understand your passions, your hobbies, what is that you can give to the world. That core thing, please write down in a paper, write down all the points that, whatever messages that you got from your child, inner child, write down those messages and work upon it. Okay? This is an amazing process. If you practice this power of self-love meditation on your daily basis, you will raise your vibration to higher chakras and you can ask what you want. I'll explain you how exactly you do this step by step. First is you close your eyes, focus on your heart chakra. Focus everything on your heart chakra. And then you start asking for what you really want, because your heart is your God. You are like already that you have been given. Just imagine that whatever you want is already given to you. And then imagine the love you're getting from the people all around. Imagine the people you love. That's where you end this meditation. This is the process of meditation, which is called heart and mind coherence meditation, which came up by Joe Dispenza philosophies. But this works wonders where you raise your vibration to your heart chakra, and you become younger day by day if you practice this. Okay, and if you want to manifest something, you want to manifest, put some goals, put some vision, give a deadline. I want to manifest something. So don't create more than 7 streams of income, and there is no hurry that I create 7 streams. I haven't created, in my inner child haven't said me, I haven't created 7 streams of income. Don't worry yourself so much. If you create 3 or 4 streams of income for yourself, start working on it. Give at least an hour for each source of income that you have come up with. First thing, you're working on your job. Parallelly, if something come up, for example, you want to do share marketing, something came into your mind, connect to your inner child, you know something, you can do that. Or you can make chocolates, you can make it chocolates. How to make chocolates and how to make organic chocolates and give it to the world. So how I can use my services to the world at this pandemic. Think that and create that passion into profitable business. That's where you create this, you can tune your passions into profitable business. Okay, thanks a lot for listening to me and doing this meditation with me. This is a very powerful meditation. And also, if you have any questions on money, where you want to understand where are you in money, where you want to go in your life, and create 7 streams of income for yourself by nourishing your soul, you can also call me at 703-281-3092. You can message me multiple sources of income. 703-281-3092 is my number. You can message me on that. And if we like each other, we can always work together. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you, Pratyusha, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Pratyusha. I hope people will create more like 7 streams of income out of your session, and they have got a clear idea of what to do and how to turn their passion into a profitable business. Thank you so much for your wonderful session.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now let's move on to the next session. The next session is by Dr. G.B.K. Rao, and the session is all about Indian kitchen, the people of Corona. So I would request my colleague Daniel to play a small video about Dr. G.B.K. Rao.
Hello, how was my session? Awesome, huh? Thank you. All Abraham Swamiji, and బాగా వచ్చిందా మెడిటేషన్?
Thank you. Now I would like to request Dr. G.K. Rao garu to take over the session, please. Sir, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there, but it's a mute. Please.
Yes, sir. We are able to see you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Mute. Rendu mute lo. Mute.
It's unmute, sir. We are able to hear you.
Sir, please unmute. It was unmute. Mandla Jayandi. Sorry. Only one click.
Mute myself. It is you have to unmute from there.
Yeah, clear. Please go ahead.
Oh. Hello.
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Pratyusha, and also CII 125 years completion. I am very grateful bringing such a wonderful COVID-19. The Indian kitchen, the key to lock Corona. Could you start your presentation, please? Please start the presentation.
Yes, sir. Just a minute, please.
Hello. Yeah. COVID-19. Indian kitchen, the key to lock Corona. Next slide, please. COVID-19 pandemic. Nature's wake-up call. This is just a starting. If we don't protect nature, it won't protect us. The nature is the ultimate. Nature is the ultimate. Connect with the nature, you are safe. Next, please. Root causes, evolution of culture, changed our food culture, agriculture, living culture, path of our Indian Vedic culture. Derailed path imbalanced the nature and five elements. Five elements, that is earth, water, Agni, Vayu, Akash. The pandemic wake-up call to back to our Vedic roots. Forgotten Vedic path for our survival. Next, please. Next slide. The Indian kitchen, the key to lock Corona. You look at our Indian kitchen, what we have, the mud paths, and you see Balram is Krishna's elder brother, carrying that plow, and also the Rokali is a Musli, and also Kanchu Patralu. The Kanchu is the one which Musalitanam Rani in the old age, it won't give the old age what we take, and also the wood, what Rokali has used, the wood, why we use this, even the tools, what you use, wood tools in the kitchen, they are all highly medicinal value. It will come next. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah, these are the things, millets, the 5 millets. That is the cold pressed oils means katte ganga nune. It is low RPM. At low RPM, it is a cold pressed oil, which is like a groundnut oil, till oil, or your sesame oil, kusum oil, verinula nune, and also herbal decoctions, which will be coming next. We'll explain how the pulses, spices, they are the most important, and how we are going to, how it is not only the corona disease to immunize, it is Vadarayita immunity system. How it brings, I'll explain the next slide. Next slide, please. Vedic way of living and natural consumption. Vedic way of living. Arita haram, arita aharam. Kashayam, kashayam. living with nature. Our Indian culture is always talked about our tradition, kashayam, kashayam. What is kashayam? Kashayam, nothing but all the herbs, how you make, like a nowadays changed to tea, coffee. Earlier is called kashayam. All the herbals like lavang tulsi, mint tulsi, karpur tulsi, lemongrass, all spices, which we prepare at Pragati Resorts, is one in all, is ultimate. That is, once you take this kashayam as a herbal tea, we refer, and having all the ingredients, how to make yourself immunity system to develop, and we'll come back. That is many other herbs, how it's going to day to day in your kitchen can use. Vedic food habits, millets, pulses, herbal decoctions, palm jaggery, tamarind, sesame, mustard seed, cow milk, the ghee, which is important, honey, etc. Natural consumption and living with the nature, an evergreen answer to save ourselves and the planet and the calamities, hunger, pollution, and deadly viruses like COVID. Next, please. Next slide, please. Living with Corona. Live with Corona, buzzword nowadays. Strangely, now all of us are with the mask. Very soon we will be with the oxygen cylinders, and also when you go to moon, what costumes we will have, the costumes you are going to have, this sun rays and wind should not be on your skin. Otherwise, the ozone, when it is puncturing, the ozone, the rays which are coming, ultraviolet rays, it will remove the skin automatically from your body without your any. Such things are going to happen. We are to go into dens, such places where how we are going to live with without coming outside. Our mother nature environment itself in ICU. Now we are the accountable doctors. We only can bring change. Out of 84 lakhs of species on the planet, we are one, the human being, is causing all the problems to all beings and also the mother planet. This efficiently treat and protect nature will decide our future. Next, please. Yes, how to survive? Boost our immunity. Immunity is the now. Pragati is doing since 1994, talking about bad bacteria, removing bad bacteria and viruses, and mosquito free. Such important our Pragati with the herbal and medicinal plants, more than 1,000 varieties are used from Vedic science, that is called Charaka Susruta, Charaka Samhita, Susruta Samhita. This is immunity to brain. What they said even about the whole world, if it is going to be disease like viruses, those days they are given. 6th chapter of Charaka Susruta. Susruta Samhita is the 16th chapter, and Charaka 3rd chapter mentioned that you have to use that is yaga, that is Soma Tiga, Soma Lata. Soma Lata yaga is to be done. And individual, the diseases, whatever is given, the Charaka Samhita and the Sushruta Samhita, 55 diseases they mention. Out of that, one each has got the 10 plants, which is being documented, and that is what we are going today and using all medicines from that Charaka Samhita, Sushruta Samhita. Lockdown is now mostly that is unlocked. Testing times for self-discipline and social accountability. Glittering allopathic corporate hospitals are blurred. Vedic food habits, traditional healing systems with herbal medicinal decoctions are the only hope. Let us move towards Vedic food habits and rewind our own Indian kitchens and survive. Next, please. This, of course, everyone is being kept display every place. There's a keep distance, wash hands, etc. Next, please. Next. Now, this is the one what we are doing since 2 years, Amrita Aharam, which is having packages in Pragati. See the millets versus rice, that is paddy rice or wheat. You look at the foxtail millet, that is brown millet, brown top millet, little millet, barnyard millet, podo millet. How they are going to help the foxtail millet is joint pains, our nerve system, gut. Gut is the most important. If you say the people say gut feeling, why the gut? That is Janendriya. That is particular. That is where Jirna Kosham. It is very important that if gut is free, then only whatever you intake, those things can go to Sapta Dhatus. Otherwise, this whatever you intake, it won't go to the blood and it won't go to the Sapta Dhatus. That's the reason we used to keep this Java. Java means that is one night we put this seed, the millet seed, and soak it, and then is cooked with more water, and after 12 hours we start taking that Java is Ambali. Ambali, that is, we can continue. That will create the immunity, and as well our gut will be free and it will be very energetic. Then the brown millet, brown top millet, Janendriyas, that is cancer, IID, GID, Samalu, little millets, Janendriyalu, Annasiyam, Suddhi. Janendriyalu means that is what even today, Venkateswara Swami, Lord Venkateswara, the first feeding that is Samalu is fed to the as prasadam, that is to. Then barnyard millet, that is kalayam, that is what you call that is liver, kidney, that purity brings the cleanliness. Then podo millet is purify the blood. You imagine how mind-boggling the water which we will be saving with this millets, and also the Kattigang Nunlu, Tati Bellam, that is palm jaggery, and instead of sugar cane, that's palm jaggery, and also the Satvika Ahar instead of Mamsahar. Look at the Siridhanyalu millets. 1 kilo is required, 1 kilo millets to produce, to bring on your table food. It requires only 300 liters, whereas rice 8,000 liters, wheat 12,000 liters, that's per kg I am talking. Then sugarcane sugar, 1 kg to get on the table, 27,000 liters required. Then the Tati Bellam, that is palm jaggery, it requires only 100 liters, may not also that. The same, the cold press oils is only 200, 300 liters. Then whereas monsoon, that meat requires 50,000 liters. Imagine one person changing from this traditional, what we are taking today, the rice, sugarcane, then refined oils, then mamsahar. You can change, you can bring 6 million liters per year per head. Imagine what a mind-boggling figure. This is the true facts which we have found. That is even Madras today, Tamil Nadu, summer they close their offices, they close their hotels just because they are not able to meet the drinking water. Next, please. Next slide. Preventive. Eat millets, reduce sugar.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. Sir, sorry to interrupt. In the interest of time, we need to close the session.
Yeah, then you just roll it. I'll talk you the.
Yes, sir.
Please pass on. Go ahead. Immunity boosting plants. Water. This is the one Somalata is highest, and this is the Brahmamlika, what we call, that is called our Kalpruksha. These are the plants which you should use. This Brahmamlika juice is the best juice on the planet. It's a London food festival they kept. Next, please. Next slide. This is the ashwagandha and also amla and tippatiga. Anything immunity means today, this tippatiga is the corona. This is the corona is very important. It is being proved in all over the world that medicine from the Guruji. Turmeric, you know that turmeric. Next, please. Next. Yes, this is acacia catechu. I'm talking about the how you use, that is even for your pan, which is tambulam, use the kacha, that acacia catechu, and also use it as a kavam, that is for buttermilking kavam, and also use it for musli, that is called rokali, and also use it in to drink water in the villages. That place where the center of the water body, they keep 2 sticks to get the water purified. One is this is Chandra, that is Kadira is called, and is another Amla. Next, please. We have Vedic science given so much importance. Next, please. This is what I want to. This is please give me 2 minutes time. This is very, very important for mustard and sesame. What we when corona attacks, glycine, which is it takes away. So his substitute is only the mustard and sesame. The stains when changes the amino acid glycine, that neurospinal cord, the communication to the brain, the taste you lose, your hearing you lose, smell you lose. This neurotransmission, inflammation, anti-inflammation, all this is these two should be used. Avakaya, we say that avakaya, that mustard we keep in that so much pickle, and also sesame, that is the laddu, is a palm jaggery laddu. This is the one which is when virus comes, I consider as a gift, as a tofa. Why? Because we are learning so much, our Indian tradition, our kitchen, how it is going to help, we'll understand. Otherwise, the coming viruses is a much more dangerous viruses already taking place. Next page, please. Next. These are the things, no, before, please. Yeah, this is the one for Machi Patra. No, this is the one. You see the Machi Patri. This is the one type of Machi Patri. First, we offer to the Lord Ganesh. This is the best kashayam for the startup any corona. Second is Julu Machi Patri. The second, when you lose your, when you get swasa, that means breathing trouble comes. This is the one which we use. We are using not now. We are using since 15 years. We are using this for viruses. Whoever is coming, not this virus, other viruses. And lavender machpati. When you lose taste, when you lose smell, this is the one which we are going to give you kashayam. This is happening every day in our Pragati resorts. Next, please. Next. Yeah, this is the Addasaram. This is any bronchodilators. And also Ganuga. Ganuga is the one which, addiction, any addiction, it will remove if you take. Even people use gutka and all. If you give this plant leaf, and they will stop that eating gutka. Then Sita Ashoka, then Kalabanda we call Brahma Kumari. It's called Brahma Kumari. Is ever beauty. Next, please. Next. These are the things again: ginger, then miriyalu, then bilwa, munuga. Munuga is the miracle now. Next, please. Next slide. Go fast. These are the places where you see the Canada is got 8,953 plants per head. Russia is 4,461. Is America, that is United 716 plants per head. 102 in China. Whereas in our India, you see the below only 28 plants per head. That's why Ativristi, Anavristi, all the type of things are coming again and again. We are helpless and we have to go for plantation on this. Next, please. Let's see the plant, each plant before. This plant, that 55 years old tree, the United Nations EP, what they said, 461.66 lakhs worth of the tree, how the oxygen, sulfur, how they are, the details are given. And now present, if dollar price, if you take 5.6 crore, and see the protected trees in turn, they protect us. Trees are a stepping stone for proper, our progression. Plant more and more trees for a better environment. Next, please. Next slide. More plants, more rains, more water, more plants, more ecology, more health, more wealth, more happiness, more peace. That is environment or happiness. Next, please. This is the Soma Yagna, which we had told Soma Yagna we are going to have in October. That is 7th. We are going to start the Soma Yagna, and is something unique. Which next slide, please. You can read later. Next slide. This is the be with nature. All living beings part of nature. We human beings are one among them. All the living beings to live together as Vasudeva Kutumbam. Our attitude towards nature shall be, we must be aware and consciousness and grateful and also beautiful and respectful. So let's learn to live and let live. The greatness of our Vedic science is not reached to that stage to explain, but thank God that today, whatever the Veda said, all the being things are, whatever told is being, science is approving, and many things to get approved. And I request you all, please visit Pragati Group YouTube. You will get more information on this. In the future is only plantation, everything. Chuttu chetlu unnali, chuttu avulu unnali. Always we should see that all around trees, all around cows. That's desi cows and a heritage medicinal plant. Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, sir. Request Subhajit to take over the next session.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. GBK Rao. I think it's always a pleasure to hear you, sir, in terms of your work, as well as what you've been doing in spreading the word of healing through food and nature. Thank you so much. I also thank Ms. Pratyusha Mangalgiri also. Now I think we are away a little beyond the time, but I'm sure that the most important question for all is like, how do you behave next socially in terms of social lifestyle for us post-COVID? So I have a very good panel members. I now request Ms. Swati ma'am, who is the chairwoman of IVIN Telangana and trustee of NATCO Trust, to kindly moderate this session. And we have 3 speakers, and probably ma'am, we could take 20-25 minutes of the session and wind it up by 2, so that we are on time for lunch also. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you, Swati ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Subhajit, for that. Since we're running late already, I'll quickly, do we have Dr. Suraj Dubey with us? And Ms. Ajay Kapoor and Amrit Dugar, all of them are here?
Yes, have all of them.
Okay. Welcome, all of you. Thank you so much for agreeing to be on this panel. Subhajit, could you please unmute everyone else?
Yeah, sure.
Namaste. Hello.
Daniel, only please, ma'am, please unmute yourself, ma'am. Swati ma'am.
There is too much disturbance.
Sorry, Daniel, can you mute all the other speakers and only unmute Swati ma'am for her to speak and conduct?
I'll unmute myself, just mute everyone.
Yeah. Daniel, thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, Daniel. To quickly introduce Dr. Suraj Dubey, a globally acclaimed thought leader in the field of interactive wellness medicine. Dr. Suraj is highly regarded for establishing holistic wellness enterprises
blending together the best of modern wellness techniques with traditional healing therapies, and has been scaling his professional pursuits from the height of the Himalayas to the lowest point on the earth, the Dead Sea. Dr. Suraj is an international exponent of holistic wellness medicine, including Ayurveda, yoga, and healing sciences from the global traditional practices, and holds a medical degree as Bachelor of Ayurvedic Medicine and Surgery from Mumbai University. As a staunch believer in the role of preventive medicine and holistic health, Dr. Suraj envisaged the importance of health and holistic lifestyle practices for the well-being of the 20th century modern community going through lifestyle disruptions and disorders. I'm going to quickly sum up so that we can hear them speak rather than me go on. In his current role, Dr. Suraj is heading the spa and wellness operations for ITC Hotels Group and conceptualizing the well-being experience unique for ITC Hotels destinations based on the ethos of responsible luxury and integrative wellness sciences. Welcome, Dr. Dubey. Thank you so much for being here with us. Mr. Ajay Kapoor is the President Retail for Fabridia Overseas. As an individual, he says he's a person with very high integrity, dedication, flexibility, and positive attitude, and is always willing to learn. An excellent team player who believes in giving a lot of freedom to work around ideas. By virtue of being in different trades and working in vast geographies, he has a good knowledge of how the Indian market works. He believes that sales and concepts remain the same, only the product and the customer changes. A go-getter, he believes in folding up his sleeves and showing the how part of sales. He's a good listener, and he believes that 80% is listening and 20% is speaking. He is pursuing his career with a clear-cut ambition of being on the top of the pyramid in this competitive corporate world. Welcome, Mr. Ajay Kapoor.
Thanks for the introduction. I'm here.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Mr. Amrit Dugar is an ideator, morsel and tisane. He's the co-curator of Gourmet Food Works. He's young and energetic with an academic background of commerce from Osmania University. Amrit has worked in the event industry for 16 years before venturing into F&B. He entered with opening India's first luxury tea room in Hyderabad and curated the Gourmet Catering Company. Currently, Amrit is heading India's first standalone luxury tea room, Morsel and Tisane Co. He has an outdoor catering company called Gourmet Food Works. He has a concept-driven Hyderabad's first luxury curated box company. It's called The Good Box. And apart from this, he does consultation for setting up event management, event production management, and event logistics management and restaurants. Thank you, Amrit. Welcome to the panel. We are extremely happy to have all three of you here. I will start because we don't have that much time. But my first question to Dr. Dubey. So we hear a lot about how, the tourism and the hospitality industries seem to be the most affected and the biggest casualties in the COVID scenario. Can you give us a closer look at how actually COVID impacted the hospitality industry? Maybe a quick 5-minute roundup would be great. You're on mute, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes.
So I take this opportunity, first of all, to thank the CII Telangana, who has taken this initiative on the lifestyle and wellness, which is so critical and crucial at this point of time when we all are in a different kind of time zone. Because we are in one place to other. So what has been happened, unfortunately, hospitality or tourism is the first industry which got hit, especially with the COVID era, and when the first thing happens is the restriction on movements in the travels. So definitely it has impacted to the level, and also this is the last industry which will really come back to its normal. So it's a kind of what is it called, black swan event, when the things are completely changing. It's giving a time for every one of us to really think that there's something which we need to really think out of the box, whether it comes in terms of the entire health and safety of our guests or the travelers, as those who come to these places for the business or the leisure. The ultimate objective of that is happiness, and how we ensure that the care and the remains, or the constant industry is sort of taking a catapult, which is gone into completely reviving, resetting its procedures. Fortunately, what you say, when we talk about hospitality and hospital, this is a hospital is a common word. So I think this is the first time when we think that the concept of hygiene, or what we call disinfection, to this industry isn't going to the level of highest medical growth. Giving any stone unturned, especially the kind of the measures, the kind of responsibility which we have as a response.
I could interrupt you, Dr. Dubey, because I'll be coming to that part again.
Responsibility for our planet, and what is the shall I continue, Swati?
Dr. Dubey, if I could just interrupt you for 1 minute, because I will be coming back to these questions which you are covering already. If I could move on to
Sure.
Mr. Ajay Kapoor.
Yes, Swati.
Mr. Ajay, in a way, the same question to you. Could you give us a quick roundup of how COVID has affected the retail industry?
Retail is all about detail, and we have been affected very badly because of the fact that the customer sentiment has been hit very hard. I think that is true with every industry that we are speaking to today. It is all about sentiments, because you get into a spending mode only if the sentiments are right. And traditionally, India has been a very conservative market, has a very conservative mindset. So we have seen the bad times in 2008 and other times also, when there was a recession and when the markets were actually tumbling down. The Indian consumer actually goes into a saving mode very fast. And these are times when the salaries have been slashed. People are not allowed to go out. So everything revolves around about the movement, about the mindset, about the will to spend. So retail definitely has been affected big time. Like Dr. Dubey was saying, Mr. Dubey was saying that the hospitality industry is all about movement. I think same holds true for retail also. Last 3 months have been pretty bad, and we are expecting that this trend is going to continue at least till December before it finally starts looking up.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ajay Kapoor. Amrit, are you here with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, Amrit.
Hi.
If there's anything you'd like to add to what Dr. Dubey and Mr. Kapoor have said on how COVID has impacted your business?
Definitely, Swati. The last 3 months or 4 months, what we have seen in the industry has been very bad. And what I look at it, and as per my experience, it will go for another 6 months to go. Yes, restaurants, hotels, we are very careful. This is the first spot where the hygiene comes into picture, even during the normal scenario. But the perception has changed completely of the clients or the customer today. Uh, they are ready to go everywhere, but not the restaurants or the hotels, which are very safe when it comes to going out and eating out. But yes, it will definitely take time. People are scared socializing, by the time people start coming out again after 6 months, they'll find 50% of their favorite restaurants or the hotels shut down permanently. The kind of losses what we're having in terms of not the monetary only, but the manpower. Uh, Huge manpower is unemployed now, on the urge of breaking down completely. We started our restaurant for few days in this after the lockdown lift up. Again, we had to shut down because people are not ready to come out still. There is a fear, there is a great fear, and the correct communication from the different agencies, government, and the media has to go on that yes, corona flu is contagious, but it's not that dangerous that we had to stop living the normal life the way you used to. Yes, we had to take care of the safety measures, protection, prevention, and we had to go on with our lives. We just cannot stop ourselves living. Socializing is part of the living. We cannot stop socializing now. You're not audible.